Picture this absolute madness. 8 different franchises, each with their own agendas, their own championship dreams, and their own stubborn executives, somehow finding a way to orchestrate the most complex trade in basketball history, all to deliver Andrew Wiggins to the Los Angeles Lakers. This isn't your typical Tuesday afternoon roster shuffle between 2 desperate teams. We're talking about a logistical nightmare so intricate, so breathtakingly ambitious, that it makes the Kevin Durant megadeals look like simple handshake agreements between neighbors. The very concept challenges everything we thought we knew about the boundaries of NBA wheeling and dealing. Dan Favale of Bleacher Report has unveiled a trade proposal so sprawling, so dizzyingly complex, that it immediately captured both the imagination and skepticism of basketball minds everywhere. This isn't merely a transaction, it's an orchestrated symphony of assets, ambitions, and calculated risks that would fundamentally reshape the competitive landscape across multiple conferences. 8 teams, 8 different war rooms filled with executives, spreadsheets, and championship aspirations. 8 separate ownership groups that would need to sign off on their piece of this unprecedented puzzle. The sheer audacity of even conceiving such a deal reveals how desperately organizations will push creative boundaries when championship windows start closing and desperation begins to override conventional wisdom. Andrew Wiggins has become the Lakers' white whale, the missing piece that keeps Rob Pelinka awake at night, sketching trade scenarios on napkins and calculating salary cap mathematics until dawn. The narrative has been elegantly simple in most iterations, a straightforward swap involving Rui Hachimura and perhaps Dalton Connect heading to Golden State in exchange for their versatile two-way wing. But Favale's vision transforms this simple desire into something resembling a Rube Goldberg machine designed by basketball's most creative minds. Instead of a direct path from point A to point B, we're looking at a labyrinthine journey through 7 other franchises, each serving a specific purpose in this grand design to land Wiggins in purple and gold. The Lakers' obsession with Wiggins makes perfect sense when you examine their current roster construction. They need that versatile wing defender who can guard the opposing team's best perimeter player while providing efficient scoring and timely three-point shooting. Wiggins brings championship pedigree, having been a crucial component of Golden State's 2022 title run, demonstrating his ability to perform under the brightest lights when everything matters most. His defensive prowess, combined with his experience playing alongside superstars, makes him an ideal complement to the offensive brilliance of Luka Dončić and the enduring greatness of LeBron James. The Lakers have long sought that bridge player who can connect their superstar duo with the rest of the roster, providing both defensive backbone and offensive fluidity when games tighten and possessions become precious. This proposed mega deal would involve the Lakers, Warriors, Boston Celtics, Brooklyn Nets, Charlotte Hornets, Milwaukee Bucks, Portland Trail Blazers, and Utah Jazz, each playing a specific role in this elaborate chess match. The Boston Celtics would see significant roster adjustments, primarily losing dynamic scoring guard Anthony Simons while acquiring a package centered around future draft capital. For a perennial contender like Boston, such a move suggests strategic long-term thinking, prioritizing financial flexibility and future assets over immediate offensive production. This approach indicates they're confident in their current core while positioning themselves for sustained excellence rather than short-term gains that might compromise their championship window longevity. The Milwaukee Bucks would make intriguing adjustments by acquiring explosive scoring guard Colin Sexton, adding another dimension to their backcourt rotation. Sexton brings relentless attacking style and proven shot creation ability that could provide valuable offensive spark, particularly off the bench or as secondary ball handling support for their existing stars. However, this gain comes with Milwaukee parting ways with versatile forward Kyle Kuzma, who would head to Brooklyn as part of this elaborate dance. Kuzma's departure would create a hole in their frontcourt rotation, but Sexton's arrival could inject much-needed offensive creativity into their system. The Brooklyn Nets would receive Kyle Kuzma, a player who has proven capable of putting up significant numbers while contributing across multiple statistical categories. For a Nets organization in transition, Kuzma represents solid veteran presence and scoring versatility that could help stabilize their roster while they navigate their rebuilding process. Charlotte emerges as perhaps the biggest winner in this scenario, acquiring both Anthony Simons and defensive anchor Robert Williams. Simons would immediately become a cornerstone of their backcourt, providing explosive scoring and playmaking potential that addresses their most pressing offensive needs. His youth and upside align perfectly with their developmental timeline. Robert Williams, when healthy, represents one of the league's most impactful defensive centers, a shot-blocking, rim-running force who could anchor Charlotte's defense for years to come. His presence would transform their interior defense while providing the kind of athletic finishing ability that complements their young guards' playmaking. For Charlotte, this represents clear acceleration of their rebuilding efforts, acquiring two high-upside talents who fit their competitive timeline while addressing multiple roster construction needs simultaneously. It's the kind of aggressive asset accumulation that can jumpstart franchise transformation when executed properly. The practical challenges of orchestrating an 8-team trade cannot be overstated. We're talking about coordinating schedules, salary cap implications, and trade rules across organizations with completely different priorities and timelines. Each general manager involved would need to see clear paths to improvement, tangible reasons to engage in such high-stakes, multifaceted negotiations. Getting 8 different executives, each answerable to their own ownership groups and fan bases, to agree on a complex web of transactions requires almost alchemical timing and mutual benefit calculations. One dissenting voice, one missed salary detail, one change of heart could send this entire structure crashing down like an elaborate house of cards. The NBA's trade rules add additional complexity layers. Matching salaries across multiple transactions, ensuring each team stays within luxury tax considerations, and navigating the various trade restrictions that come with different contract types and signing dates. Every piece must fit perfectly, like a precision-engineered puzzle where one wrong move ruins everything. Yet the tantalizing prospect of Andrew Wiggins in a Lakers uniform continues to fuel these audacious discussions. His championship experience, defensive versatility, and proven ability to perform alongside superstars make him an ideal fit for a franchise whose championship window remains open but undeniably finite. With LeBron James defying father time but approaching career twilight and Luka Dončić firmly established in his prime, the Lakers operate in unmistakable win-now mode. Every roster decision carries heightened urgency because championship opportunities with generational talents don't last forever, regardless of how invincible they might seem in the moment. Wiggins represents more than just statistical production. He embodies the kind of playoff-tested reliability that championship teams require when games matter most. His experience navigating postseason pressure, combined with his two-way impact, addresses specific Lakers' needs while fitting seamlessly into their existing offensive and defensive systems. The question becomes whether pursuing such an elaborate trade scenario represents shrewd championship construction or desperate overreach that could backfire spectacularly. Sometimes the most creative solutions produce the best results, but sometimes they create unnecessary complications that undermine the very goals they're designed to achieve. Whether this specific 8-team proposal ever materializes remains highly uncertain, but its very existence highlights how creative basketball minds push boundaries when conventional approaches fall short. It represents the kind of outside-the-box thinking that either produces championship breakthroughs or cautionary tales about ambition exceeding execution. The mere fact that such concepts receive serious discussion reveals how relentlessly competitive the NBA has become, where every asset gets scrutinized and every potential advantage gets explored regardless of how unconventional the path might appear. Front offices increasingly embrace complexity when simplicity fails to deliver desired results. This trade proposal paints a vivid picture of basketball's evolving landscape, where traditional two-team swaps might eventually seem quaint compared to the multi-franchise orchestrations that ambitious executives are willing to attempt. The boundaries of what's possible continue expanding as desperation for championships drives unprecedented creativity. So here's the million-dollar question that's eating at everyone's minds. Is Favale's 8-team masterpiece a stroke of pure genius that will revolutionize how we think about NBA transactions? Or is it simply an elaborate fantasy that sounds incredible on paper but crumbles under real-world pressure? Could the Lakers actually pull off something this monumentally complex? And would Wiggins' arrival truly transform their championship odds enough to justify such an undertaking? Share your wildest theories and deepest skepticism in the comments. Because conversations this fascinating deserve the passionate debate they inspire, and we're dying to hear whether you think this is basketball brilliance or beautiful madness.